What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Zero to ChatGPT Hero, the penultimate episode of Season 1 with League 6 right around the corner. Last episode, ChatGPT had us knocking out a ton of quests, rotting away at Giant's Foundry for 70 smithing, grinding through a stack of diaries, and ultimately walking away with a massive upgrade, the Zombie Axe. But apparently, that still wasn't enough, because this episode, ChatGPT is sending us right back into the fire, throwing even more quests in our path before it finally lets us take our first real step into the mid-game. This is episode 14.
Collection log slot completed.
All right, first thing we're going to do is take a little tour through the desert. We'll start off by helping out this little golem here. Then we're going to knock out the Shadow of the Storm. You know what would be really sick is if during this tour of the desert, ChatGPT just threw beneath cursed sands at us and had us start doing raids at this level on this account. I would not be disappointed with that, and I don't think y'all would be either. And while we're at it, let's just go ahead and get spooned a Shadow and a Fang, and we'll be set for the remainder of wherever this series takes us. That's not asking for too much, is it? But unfortunately, that's not the case. ChatGPT has different plans, and it's sending us to the jungle for Act 2, where we are going to knock out Jungle Potion and Shiloh Village.
Quest completed.
Oh my god, stop. All right, a couple quick quests off the rip there, and now we start to really accelerate the progress here with a little bit of a turning point. Bring on the Heroes Quest and Legends Quest. And a quick shout out to Sepper03 for being my partner in this beloved journey of Heroes Quest.
Quest completed.
Now, who else remembers way back in 2003 when Jagex released Legends Quest as the 50th quest for RuneScape 2 at the time? And if you completed this quest, you were just at the top of your game, rocking that white Legends cape everywhere you went, letting everybody know that you were a Giga Gamer. Now, I don't even think anybody wears this cape. I also remember my 10-year-old self not having any concept or knowledge of what prayer flicking was, and bringing damn near full inventories of prayer pots and food so I can survive this massive battle with this demon. And I also remember not knowing to grab extra herbs during Jungle Potion, so I didn't have to go back during this portion of the quest to grab them. So thank God we got that knowledge now. And there we have it. Who needs a hero when you got a legend? But what use does Legends Quest have nowadays? Well, it's a prereq for RFD, and that's where ChatGPT has us going next. So let's put this cat to work. Oh my god, the yellow spice does not exist. Finally, good lord. Thank God. I hate making spicy stews. Brulee, on the other hand, not as bad as spicy stew. All right, there's freedom for Evil Dave and Sir Meek. Well, this is unfortunate. Back to questing we go. So we knocked out Corsair Cove, Ides of Milk, Little Helper, Contact, helped the Zogres, did a rum deal, knocked out Cabin Fever, did Elemental 1 and 2, cured the Queen, and then knocked out a labor dispute. And then finally, doing the bar crawl. Well, turns out that you also need to do Horror from the Deep, so I am just in all types of shambles right now. All right, now that we're back on track, let's go get our Barrows Gloves. And we're just gonna kite this dude around the room here. And I'll have y'all know, we did learn from our failures in episode 10. We now know Ivan's Blast is not a fire spell and will not be effective on this dude. We did not learn about the importance of bringing extra runes though, because we ran out of them. All right, let's go refit for the last half of this fight. Little tip, I did not bring melee or range, so during those phases, I'm just gonna stand underneath this dude until he phases. Oh my god, this thing is hitting like a tank. And if done properly, which I'm not doing here, you can also walk under it to not lose DPS while you eat. And finally, much like the giant cake dude, we're just gonna go ahead and kite this guy around the room until we finish him off. There we have it. I'll watch him go. Let's go get our Barrows Gloves. Actually, just kidding. I'm still in shambles. You need 130k for Barrows Gloves, and I don't have that. So we're gonna go back to Old Faithful. Again, I know it's repeat content, but it's just so reliable to get money here. It's super passive, it's AFK, I can do it at work, and you know what? If you don't like it, I'm sorry. Let me know in the comments. I'll figure something else out in the future. And here's our last key. Let's skedaddle out of here. Oh, fat fingered that one. All right, there's 130k plus. Let's go get our Barrows Gloves. Boom. Look at that. This has been so fun progressing this account in such an unorthodox way. Now with Barrows Gloves, we got a +5 strength bonus, which is really going to propel us into the next step, which is the true turning point. Welcome, mid-game content. I wish Blood Moon was as easy as it is in the quest, because this is arguably the most humbling mid-game boss there is. Alright, there's Perilous Moons unlocked. Now, let's go knock out this first chest, where surely we're going to get Spoon the Boppers 1kc, right? And then we're just going to build full Blood Moon within 5kc and call it a wrap.
Combat task completed.
Well, that's not boppers. Oh, 1 HP left. Well, that's unlucky. I don't know why I didn't DDS spec. Of course he lands every hit and heals for like 240 HP just right there. Dude, Blood Moon is such a demoralizing fight for low level accounts. But we made it, so let's go get our last chest.
Collection log slot.
Oh my god! What a way to end the episode. Let's go. And just like that, episode 14 is complete. What started as another monumental amount of quest requirements somehow turned into one of the biggest progression episodes we've had so far. We knocked out the Golem, Jungle Potion, Shiloh Village, Heroes Quest, Legends Quest, just to name a few, before we finished off Recipe for Disaster, finally unlocked the biggest account upgrade yet in Barrows Gloves. And that wasn't even the end of it. We then stepped into Perilous Moons, survived the chaos, looted the Lunar Chest a couple times, and somehow walked away with 2 Perilous Moons pieces. So at this point, I think it's pretty safe to say we are officially entering the mid game. And in the next episode, or maybe even on stream, we're taking this even further. So don't forget to subscribe so you can catch these episodes as soon as they drop. I'll see you next time on Zero to ChatGPT Hero.